want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. A California man pled guilty today to conspiring with Peruvian based call centers that defrauded Spanish speaking United States residents by falsely threatening them with arrest, deportation, and other legal consequences. According to court documents, Luis Rendon, age 60 of Harbor City, California, operated a distribution center that helped the call center operators execute their fraud scheme from Peru. With Rendon's guilty plea, 11 defendants have now pled guilty in connection with the 15 million transnational fraud scheme aimed at defrauding Spanish-speaking residents of the United States by fraudulently threatening them with legal consequences if they did not pay for English language learning products they never requested or pay bogus settlement fees. More than 30,000 Spanish-speaking residents of the United States were defrauded. In total, the 11 defendants included 7 Peruvian call center owners, operated, and 4 distribution centers operators who possessed payment and facilitated the fraud in the United States. Many of the defendants collaborated and shared strategies on how to defraud Spanish speaking residents in the United States. 7 of the defendants were extradited from Peru and pled guilty in federal court to conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud and receiving significant prison sentences. United States District Judge Robert N. Scola Jr. sentenced Henry Miller, Carlos Espinaza, Jerson Renteria, Fernan Herta, Omar Cuscano, Evelyn Miller, and Jasmel Espinoza to sentencings ranging from 88 months to 110 months in prison. Quote, these cases demonstrate that the Department of Justice's Consumer Protections Branch will vigorously pursue and prosecute transnational criminals who defraud vulnerable United States consumers. Individuals who defraud our immigrant communities will be brought to justice and held accountable in the United States courts. Our case with the Consumers Protections Branch demonstrate that the long arm of justice has no limits when it comes to reaching fraudsters who prey on our nation's most vulnerable population. We will continue to bring Americans justice to transnational criminals who use fear tactics and intimidation to steal money from immigrants, seniors, and others who live in the country. For many years, the United States Postal Inspection Service and their law enforcement partners have investigated and prosecuted international criminal rings targeting United States customers to steal their hard earned money. The United States Postal Inspection Service, along with the Department of Justice Consumers Protection Branch and the United States Attorney's Office, will continue to aggressively pursue these criminals to ensure that they are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. According to court documents, Rendon owned and operated International Latin Market, or ILM, a California based distribution center that facilitated the large scale telemarketing fraud and extortion scheme from 2011 until late 2017. Rendon aided and abetted the scheme by providing a list of prospective victims to the call centers in Peru, processing card payments from victims, and sending low quality computer tablets preloaded with English language software to victims in the Miami area and across the United States. Rendon, like the other defendants who pled guilty before him in this investigation, admitted that the call center and their employees falsely claimed to be lawyers, court officials, federal agents, and representatives of a so called minority crimes court, which does not exist. The caller falsely threatened victims with court proceedings, negative marks on their credit reports, imprisonment, and immigration consequences if they did not immediately pay for the purportedly delivered products and settlement fees. Angel Adrianson, another co-conspirator who operated the United States-based distribution center that facilitated an additional group of fraudulent Peruvian call centers, pled guilty to similar charges in 2020. Adrianson helped his co-conspirators set up and staff call centers that defrauded Spanish-speaking residents in the United States. Judge Scola sentenced Adrianson to up to 121 months in prison. Rendon will be sentenced on February 16th of 2023 before the United States District Judge Patricia A. Stentz in Miami. He faces a maximum sentence of 20 years imprisonment. The United States Postal Inspection Service and the Consumer Protections Branch investigated this case. So it's amazing to me, right? Now, all the times you commonly hear about, black men, are consistently doing a lot of criminal things. They're the most criminal minded, the main individuals who do the utmost in America, right? The main reason why the American system, or you could say the money, the financial area is pretty much down, right? That's what people like to say. But nobody wants to really talk about all of these schemes that are taking place, that are happening by way of individuals who are quote unquote here legally or whatever, or illegally, right? And I find it highly amazing that amongst the talk of reparations, right, you have individuals that want to make fun and they want to say, where are their reparations for their land being stolen, all this other type of stuff. How about you go after your people that are defrauding and taking millions of dollars, or maybe in some instances, hundreds of millions of dollars, directly from them, from those communities, and stop trying to focus on what it is that black people are doing and what it is that black people are getting that is well deserved, that should have been here a long time ago. And I find it funny that it's always the same individuals talking about that black people are harming other communities and all these other types of things. And black people need to speak out. Black people don't want to talk about these wrongdoings. But if it was the reverse, yada, yada, yada. But yet, whenever these crimes take place and it just so happens to, be, I guess you could say, Spanish on Spanish or Hispanic on Hispanic. And these things take place where you have people defrauding other individuals. Like I said, this dude had a scheme and he was working with his own people to steal directly from his own people. But as I stated before, you're not going to see a lot of them talking about this on social media. They will stay fixated and focused on directly what it is that black people are receiving or should be receiving and or are getting. Like I said before, it makes no sense to be so obsessed with a group of people that you stated before that you are not even a part of, that you dislike, and that you have had issues with for the longest times possible. And even amongst your own groups of people who are very highly melanated, meaning the darker complected Mexicans, who are, in a sense, overlooked, who are mistreated, who are stepped on, right? Who are treated um, a certain type of way, right? They're seen as dirt, right? Because their skin complexion is darker versus the lighter side of the population. Even amongst your own people, you show the issues that you have. So, like I said before, this is not an assumption. This is not a guess. This is not feelings. The fact of the matter is, just like how you are discriminatory and you are racist towards your own people, you are the exact same way towards black people. And it clear cut shows, because out of everything in life, I would feel that this story would actually be highlighted and pushed to the forefront so that other families who are not able to like really fully speak English, they would be very much aware and know of these schemes and these scams that are coming directly from their own people in order to hinder and steal directly from them, in order to get money from them any which way how. Like I said, I feel sorry for those families out there. I really do. Because no telling what that money could have potentially prevented, people from doing. Because we all know that, you got individuals out here that will do their best to scam, a savings account out of somebody. I've done stories before where you've had individuals that will scam 20 grand directly from people and not even blink. So I can only imagine from a lot of these families out here who are not really able to speak English, how much money was really taken from them and how much that has really impacted their family and the decisions of members in their party. So, like I said before, if anybody wants to talk about a lot of things that are, taking place that's wrong, let's start here. Like I keep telling people, start focusing directly on your own people before you decide that you want to focus in and look in on black people and trying to critique and police black people while your people are doing the utmost wrong.